Welcome to Venture Onward, your front row seat to the biggest shakeups, boldest moves, and best comic book stories in today's superhero landscape. If you care about Marvel Comics, game-changing comic book characters, and graphic novels that aren't afraid to take risks, this is where you belong. Let's not sugarcoat this. Ultimate Spider-Man number 19 is a full-on emotional ambush, and it just rewired Peter and MJ's relationship. As Jonathan Hickman and Marco Checchetto edge toward the final stretch of their 24-issue Ultimate Spider-Man run, the stakes have never felt sharper, or more personal. Sure, there's a full-scale underworld war brewing between Kingpin, the Mysterios, and the Secret Six, but what really lands like a punch to the gut? Peter and Mary Jane finally hitting a wall in their marriage, and it's all happening under a pressure cooker of supervillains, secrets, and survival. Here's the real news: Mary Jane has had enough. Peter's kept his Spider-Man identity a secret. He's kept quiet about the threats against their family. And while MJ's been patient, shockingly patient, issue number 19 makes it clear she's done being in the dark. She doesn't want half-truths. She doesn't want protection. She wants partnership. And for the first time in this entire series, their relationship feels like it might not survive the mask. Checchetto and Wilson capture that tension perfectly. It's not just dramatic dialogue, it's earned. Hickman digs into the murky ethics of superhero secrecy, and it hits hard. Superhero comics rarely slow down enough to do this kind of character work, but when they do, they hit like a freight train. But if you came here for action, you're in luck. In a flashback twist, we learn what went down when Richard Parker was ambushed by Felicia Hardy, yes, the daughter of Black Cat. What started as romantic tension turned into full betrayal, and Richard's supersuit flipped into full monster mode. The visual payoff? A brutal, horror-tinged Venom transformation so terrifying even Kingpin is like, let's never speak of that again. This is peak Marvel comic book arcs madness. Checchetto and Wilson completely let loose on the art, giving us one of the most grotesque, unforgettable Venom moments in Marvel Comics history. The criminal underworld is fracturing. Kingpin doesn't know Wesley is working for the Mysterios. Mole Man wants to flip sides. Gwen Stacy's married to Green Goblin. And now Mole Man's tracking down Peter to warn him and possibly tip the scales. But beneath all this wargame tension, Hickman keeps circling back to one theme: what can one hero really do in a world this broken? It's a stunning bit of comic book analysis dressed up in action movie pacing, and it's what makes this run feel more like prestige television than your average floppy. And yeah, here's the bittersweet part. Hickman and Checchetto are wrapping up this brilliant, out-of-the-box reimagining of Spider-Man after just 24 issues. That's 4 trades worth of best comic books, and it's shaping up to be one of the boldest entries in Marvel comic book stories this side of the multiverse. The way Hickman plays with time, every issue is a real-time month, the boldness of his choices, and the emotional fallout, it all hits harder now that we know the finish line is near. Ultimate Spider-Man number 19 proves why this series is in the top tier of Marvel Comics reviews, and why Hickman is still one of the most inventive voices in modern comic book history. It's got layered characters, bold plot twists, and superhero consequences that actually feel real. If you haven't started reading this run, start now. Please subscribe, like, and click the notifications so you don't miss any more updates on the state of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Spider-Man comics, and the evolving world of DC and Marvel comic book characters. This is Venture Onward, signing off until the next panel turns the page.